Hi.
Let's run that back.
Okay.
This confrontation can cancel your career.
Canceled.
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 Cancel culture
podcast.
Hi, everyone. As you can tell, this is a little bit different than we usually do things. Elayna's not here. She couldn't be with us today. She's off doing bigger and better things. Sorry, the smoke went into my legs.
There's no
smoke. Should we call the fire department? So, Jamie here, and as you can see, I'm with my friend Mehek. Say hi.
Hey.
Okay. And Sarah's here.
Hey.
And
shouldn't tell you to say anything.
No, you don't have to. And great. So I just thought we'd give a little intro. One of the biggest comments we hear about cancel culture is Sarah frozen?
It's just having fun.
She's frozen in the funniest. It just looks like she's reacting for a very long time.
She likes what you're saying. She's smiling.
Okay. One of the biggest comments we hear about cancel culture is,
Admit.
Oh, now look at her face.
Oh, she looks upset.
Whoa.
Oh.
This is Uncanny Valley.
I feel like I'm watching Ex Machina. Are you coming back to life?
Oh. There's two of you.
There's one Elayna, but there's two Sarahs.
Yeah, I see the blind spot. It's gone.
Okay. Now old Sarah's
Which
gone.
one
New Sarah's
was the
here.
real one?
I don't know.
Yeah,
think
imagine.
Sarah's been cloned.
Like uncanny. Exactly. I'm like me, but like my laugh is completely different. I'm like, I'm like weird.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Hey. Anyway, one of the biggest comments we hear about cancel culture is that this show is too thick with two C's, practically bursting at the seams. Can you tell our editor wrote this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a thing with
We're gonna get Jesse canceled. But what you don't know is that a lot of the good shit is actually left on the cutting room floor. We decided to take all those lost segments and put them together. This episode is the BBL of cancel culture episodes. We took the fat from the stomach and we're putting it all in the ass. Guess that answers the question if Jesse's an ass or a tit man. So sit back or forward, depending on how recent your surgery was, and enjoy Cancel Culture Renewed.
Yeah! Enjoy it, suckers.
And that's renewed, RENEWED, not renewed, RENUDE.
Which is not a word.
Enjoy Cancel Culture Renewed. All right, let's move on to our next bad example. I think that we have a Bill Burr clip.
Oh, dangerous.
Oh, Bill Burr.
A Bill Burr clip. Yeah. Here we go.
When's the last time you saw a kid riding a bicycle down the street? You're never going to see that shit again. You never see him playing outside. Parents just have them inside now, man. They're just feeding them and feeding them, you know? Just making them fatter and fatter. I'm trying to make them unfuckable. That's what it is. That's why you see all these 250-pound 8-year-olds just come waddling out of the house.
So bad.
You can't get that kid in the car. I'm serious. Pedophiles in general are very skinny people. They got to start chalking up their forearms. They're fucking blowing out their back.
The audience wasn't with him on that last one.
Yeah. How are you fat shaming little children?
Well, that's the thing about it.
Well, it's funny because they're fat. Do you get it?
Haha. That sounds like fat phobia to me.
Yeah.
It is.
It was
Now
brave
you
of
get it.
him. He put two taboo topics together, and I just think I commend him for trying. It was intense. I don't know if it worked out. Don't know if it served its purpose, but he double down with that, you know?
I think my favorite part was him acting out the forearm strengthening of the pedophile. I think that was my favorite. Comedy. He was like, "Let me show you how they."
He also waddled. He did an impression of the.
He's
children.
like, you know how fat people walk, right? Let me show you with this absurd like physicalization of it.
And the audience was like, "Oh."
He's like, "You guys know what I'm talking about, right?" They're all like, "Please stop."
Like, no, we've never thought about children in this context, Bill. But the thing is also he almost makes it okay. This is what the worst part of it is. He makes the pedophile okay because the kids are fat. It feels like that to me, at least when I was hearing it. I don't know. I don't think that's what he was going for, maybe, but that's what it sounds like. It feels like you're never going to be able to catch a kid again because they're fat now.
I honestly think, kind of like the Dane Cook joke, he was trying to be anti-pedophilia. He didn't succeed in being anti-pedophilia, but he basically said the obesity of America's children, which is a fact, kids in America are technically and medically more obese than they used to be, is a way that parents are protecting their kids against pedophiles. They're making them unfuckable. And
which is so gross, though.
I know, but his whole point is to make pedophilia seem ugly by
our resident white man translator.
His attempt was, this is an anti-pedophilia movement is making kids less attractive.
So he's kind of bringing it back. So he's kind of bringing pedophilia
also,
back.
I feel like I never got that thesis. Maybe he needed to start out with that and say, for the record, we're trying to dismantle pedophilia and we're going to do it by making kids chunky. Because I still didn't get that by the end.
That's exactly the joke. That's exactly the joke.
I
don't know that it succeeds. I'm just telling you.
He was mocking the children, I think.
He did mock the children who
mock the victims.
That's what soured the taste in my mouth.
I don't think the joke we're making kids unfuckable is funny. I just don't like. It's funny
that is totally fine.
I understand.
Well, you know what, Jamie? America disagrees with you. Okay, we think it's funny.
I don't know. That crowd. To your point,
that crowd didn't agree.
Didn't go with them.
It's honestly, it's so fun watching what audiences will allow and what they won't.
Yeah.
Like when you hear like all it takes is really one person in the audience to go, ooh, and then it'll catch, or the opposite. Someone to be really on board.
And this is why I'm loud and obnoxious as hell at every show I ever go to. Even here, I listen back to myself. I'm like, every time. It's so annoying. It's like the classic seminar trap where like you don't get it and nobody else does, but then you all perform like you're getting it and clap, and then the person thinks they're doing well and they're just not, because nobody's brave enough to be like, yeah, I didn't get it, you know?
Well, then Evan will stand up and say, listen, you guys, let me explain.
Bill Burr just needs to bring you around as his like some people have ASL translators. They'll just be his comedy translator. And after every joke, he'll be like, listen, this is why that was funny.
Listen, guys.
I think Burr suffers from the same thing, which is he didn't make it clear. It's the rule you make it clear where you stand on pedophilia. I don't think I think he tried to be anti-pedophilia.
Let's hope.
But he failed.
Sleepy
Paul to everyone. Evan mansplaining Shapiro.
But we're redefining the word mansplaining, because I think if mansplaining was just the act of a white man translating white man's intention to the rest of the population, that's the only type of mansplaining.
Exactly. I am your man, your white mansplainer.
I mean, regardless of his intention, we all agree that Bill Burr's joke failed to be funny to us and failed to make us comfortable with a pedophile joke.
Yes.
Correct.
It was poopy.
I like this.
I agree.
Poopy.
Great. I love that we did that. I think Mehek found this a bad example from a real person, or obviously, you know what I mean, live and in person.
In real live.
Live from the actual universe. It's Jerry Seinfeld. So this is a interview from Jerry Seinfeld on Jay Leno circa whenever TV looked this bad. And let's take a listen.
Have you ever been stopped by the cops? Have you ever been? Because you drive. Oh, sure. Yeah. You know what I love? Whenever you see them on TV, I love the way they put the chokehold on the guy, they beat him with the baton, they put the handcuffs on him, but when they put him in the back seat, they always put the hand on the head. You don't want to hit your head on that metal edge. That really hurts.
Trying to do that thing.
Yeah, careful, easy now. Don't hurt your head. His face is all swollen from the beating. But that metal edge, that really smarts.
Hit that rain gutter. Oh,
yeah,
man.
oh boy, that's tough.
So the thing about that joke to me is just like, again, I feel like it plays into it's not really a joke about the absurdity of police brutality. It's still just kind of a joke about the fact that it happens. Like, if anything, it's just making fun of the fact that they like choose to treat them like gently when they put them in the car. It's like it's still being like, haha, like you beat them up, but then you treat them gently. Like, it doesn't feel like he's being like, you beat them up, like that's bad, and then you like take the time to treat them gently. I don't know, like it just still feels like,
but it is kind of wild. Like, why even bother? Why even bother gently placing them in the cop car?
Well, yeah,
already
it's pointing out the absurdity. I don't know. I think the reason
that's his joke.
Yes, and I think the reason why I'm kind of adamant that I don't know if we will be able to make a funny joke on this topic is just because like the laughter surrounding that joke made me feel it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't like watching the white people laugh about it, even though in my opinion that joke is like almost the perfect loophole. Like it is a kind of a good joke in that I think it does point out the absurdity. But I don't think that's enough. Like, I don't think it's not a laugh that like feels good to me.
It's still something jarring about watching like two old white guys just like being like
yucking it up,
about the fact that like people are being beat up.
And that is a specific absurd detail that has like a kind of funny-ish image related in the grand scheme of everything to do with police brutality. Maybe that's like the one moment they found that like is
right. Well, I mean,
and it's still not funny to me.
Yeah.
Well, the joke, that accepted laughter of the audience, both in the room and at home across the screens of the Tonight Show, is that police brutality is just normal.
Right.
Yeah. It feels like it's like trivializing this thing that is an experience for real people. Like, I don't know. It just,
but then it's hard to make a joke that doesn't, I don't know how it can be fun. Like, it's not funny with the trivial element, but then I don't think it's funny if we strip it of the trivial element either, because then we're kind of just saying what is obviously true, which is that police brutality is bad. And then that's not a joke, So that's maybe where the difficulty is going to come from.
Okay, yeah. And it's interesting because this joke reminds me of something else that Mehek found. Mehek, didn't you say you found another example of like a very similar?
Yeah. So I found this other comedian I really like. He made a joke like this kind of more recently, and it's really similar. I don't know if you know him, but I'll just say the name. You can Google it later or something. I think Donald J. Trump.
I think I've seen him at Comedy Cellar. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He rocks.
They have transformed peaceful parks and beautiful, quiet neighborhoods into blood-stained killing fields. They're animals.
I like that you can see the rings around his eyes.
We cannot tolerate, as a society, the spilling of innocent, young, wonderful, vibrant people. But I have a simple message today for every gang member and criminal alien that are threatening
non-white people
so violently our people.
That's what he's
We will find you, we will arrest you,
and
we will jail you.
Okay, Liam
and
Neeson.
We will deport you. And when you see these towns and when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, the way you put their hand over. Like, don't hit their head, and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
I got like actual full body chills.
I just couldn't stop my laughter. It was way too damn funny. This man, why did he even go into politics?
Comedic timing. I will just say his comedic timing is sensational. But bad guy, bad guy, in case anyone's wondering how I
We
feel.
don't like him.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's funny
We're
is why he
joking.
became president of the United
Right.
States. There's
It's
no
the
question.
charisma. And he's
He is
tall.
funny.
And
I
he's
don't
tall.
know if I would call it charisma. I think it's more.
I would.
Pizzazz and star power is what that man has.
It's populism. It's populism and sensationalism. But that's
Star
another
power.
conversation. That's another conversation. Also, I love that the 2 minutes after this, his press secretary was like, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Well, that's
And-
why I feel like it's fair game to like call it a joke in the sense of like, I'm going to decimate it like it was a joke
Yeah.
because you said it was. And then I'm allowed to do that.
The good
I'm allowed
life's
to do
still
that.
for everyone. Say whatever you want.
Then say it's
Well-
a joke. There's a lot of
Fail.
paddy wagon talk happening in the chat right now between our producers.
I don't-
Mariana said, "I'm going to
It's
start
Patty
adding."
with a D, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
It
padlock.
is PADD.
Yeah. Guys,
Mariana
this
said,
thing-
"I'm adding paddy wagon to
'Cause
my
it's a
regular
padded
vocabulary."
I think it's because
Hey.
it's supposed to be a padded wagon, right?
Yeah, those shits are
Wagon.
expensive. No, y'all, for real.
Padded wagon?
Them shits, yes.
Sorry,
them shits
Mariana
are
said
expensive.
wagons that carry a bunch of women named Patty.
Yes.
No, a lot of
That actually
hamburgers.
is
A lot of
funny.
hamburgers.
I love
Yeah.
them shits
SpongeBob-
are expensive.
SpongeBob
I just
uses
want to put
paddy
it there.
wagons.
Grab
Yeah.
a patty.
Where's the beef? Anyway,
On that note. So I think it's interesting though that like I feel like this is something we also run into where it's when it's people that we like, quote unquote, even though I'm not a Jerry Seinfeld stan, but like liberal America, when it's people that we quote unquote like, we are very easygoing with what we excuse versus like obviously Trump is an easy target, not defending Trump for the record, just saying that like he told a very similar joke and like
But I will say their point of view was very different.
No,
If you
true.
really take a look, what they are saying, and I do want to sleep with Jerry Seinfeld, so that is why.
Well, you
Well,
should
oh,
you just
no,
need to
they're
be you
too
need to be
old.
about 6 years younger, yeah. Then you can,
Yeah, then you're.
you missed your chance.
I don't want to
bud.
burn any bridges, okay? So let me just please. I've gone flash.
I just like to know when we're going to hear Jason Sudeikis' police brutality jokes.
Jason Sudeikis will be on this show.
I bet
but
he would
not
tell
in
a
the way
good
you
one.
think.
I think that
I wish
I could have made such an inappropriate joke there, but then I had to remember that I'm still in the presence of my father.
Yeah, I forget that all the time.
Manish
And we're always in the presence of our.
I was gonna
father,
say
capital
he's
F.
here right now. He's just off camera. Okay. Yeah. So I think we definitely pinpointed some bad points about both those jokes. You know, Jerry Seinfeld and Trump, they're the same person. That's what we decided. Great. So I think that
And
it's
we saw
time-
them kissing.
Yeah. Let's take
Who's
a look.
this?
This is you know, I can never remember his there it is. Tony Hinchcliffe. I literally can never remember his name because I only know him from this clip.
Yeah.
Who? Who? Here we go.
Because he lost his like career after this, correct?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think we're about to see why.
Give it up for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yes, hello, good evening, welcome, hello. How about one more time for the filthy little fucking that was just up here? While all you fucking race traitors are whooping and hollering, I'm back there watching you puking in a fucking bucket. Oh, we making a gunpowder. Oh, you want extra soy sauce. Oh, you borrow money from us. And you guys just eating it up, you fucking pussy.
What? It just gets worse and worse. Oh my god.
My first question is, why did he have a walkout song like he's in the NBA? Like, what was that? That did it? Oh no. As he comes out, like they hyped him
It told you exactly what the energy was right off the bat.
I mean, it's a room of white men laughing at
No, seriously.
a racial slur. So
All with their hair.
Maybe
Their
they-
hat was like all at the same angle to the back. They all laughed exactly at the same time in the same cadence.
Literally.
But I appreciate the laughter did fade out with that final accent bit. I'll put
yeah, but they did laugh really hard at the racial slur.
definitely. No,
Slurs are always funny. Didn't you know? Slurs are always hilarious. That's why we
Right.
use them.
That's what I've learned.
No, it looks like frat boy open mic night. It looked like they
Yes.
hosted
Yeah.
something in the frat basement to hype up, their brothers.
Yeah.
And they felt
were
trading
roofies. I thought it was like mud wrestling after or like a wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah, they had to drink mustard for initiation or something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
all those same guys are gonna mud wrestle.
Honestly,
well, this man was canceled. We don't know his name. Who is he?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Some guy.
I'm pretty sure he got banned from mud wrestling after this joke. I'm pretty sure
he was no longer allowed to chug a beer with the boys. So.
Hey, and that's hard to do. That's hard to get banned from.
Yeah.
Ultimate sentence.
We've, I think, been pretty generous, in fact, to a lot of the people that have crossed our screen in not necessarily in saying that there was work to be done on the joke.
Right.
And I think we all agree that cancel culture as a whole has a lot of nuances that maybe are often overlooked, because sometimes I think there is room for people to change, grow, learn, restorative.
Right. Make mistakes, take accountability.
Not Tosh.
Not Tosh.
Sorry,
definitely
Tosh.
not Tosh. Things like this, it does it makes you wonder why people are so eager to defend, this person should never be allowed to tell jokes again. You've just proven that you're a bad person and also a bad comic.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a joke. There was no punchline.
Listen?
It's a bad, lazy half joke.
Right. But I also wonder with this random dude, whatever his name is, frat boy, did he write this down? Chad, Brad,
I think this was
Ryan,
off the
Bruce?
cuff.
Yeah, it seemed like it was an improvisation because he saw the MC was Asian, right? It doesn't. Did he put any labor into this? Was this part of his stand-up originally, or did he just see this and he was like, "You don't make these guys bust a gut if I use slurs," and he's like, "I'm doing it." I wonder.
It felt very off the cuff. This feels like something that this Tony character just had in his back pocket as if all else fails, I'll just start being racist, and I feel like they'll like that. And they did for a little bit. It kind of worked.
I feel like this happens a lot where it's seen as okay to make jokes about Asian people that are racist and stereotypical, and nobody bats an eye because we're like, haha, they're the butt of the joke, and we've accepted it as this community that we're not going to say anything about it.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it makes you think that, if the host had been Black, he would have got up and done something about Black people. If that host had been brown in another way, he would have got up and done something about, know what I mean?
If it had been a woman, he would have. Yeah.
If it had been a woman, it's, apparently after the fact, he claimed that him and the host were friends and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh,
some of my best friends are
then
Asian.
it's okay.
You
It's
are not
okay
my friend.
to do that. No, just shut
Look, Chad,
up.
we are not friends. Okay.
Chad, Brad, whatever your name is.
I also I don't know if he would have done it to another race, which is an issue in itself. I feel like a lot of the stereotypes related to Asian people are kind of the subservience. That's often the thing that's taking the piss out of or whatever, which is ridiculous. But I think that's why there's that direct link there that he felt for whatever reason he could. And I don't know if he would have actually felt that with
That's a good point.
Another race, which is horrendous.
If you have an attempt at a joke that you want to give us, we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, you can find us on Instagram at cancelculture_pod and tell us what you think. And we'll see you next time on Cancel Culture Podcast. Bye, everyone.
Cancel Culture
Podcast.